If Solana's theoretical transactions per second is 65,000, this is theoretically 1 million. So it's an entire game change. So what does that enable? Why am I interested in it? Because things like some of the two initiatives from Solana, one was compressed NFTs, allow you to create 1 million NFTs for $100. We're seeing that on layer twos as well, like base, but we're not at layer one level. Okay, Solana's a whole different game.
Stories shape every Bitcoin bull market, which can boost your investing profits. Solana, the Solana blockchain platform's native coin, has done beautifully over the past year. The price rose 1,879% in 14 months from $9.90 9 January 2023 to over $195 last month. The largest cryptocurrency by market cap fell 23.53% from $117,000 to $72,000. The Solana blockchain and its own coin are growing in popularity despite abrupt, hours-long outages. Some cryptocurrency investors are less interested in Solana because to its outages, but its high throughput, low transaction prices, and user-friendly environment attract developers, institutions, and consumers, boosting mainstream acceptance. Users also want to observe how Fire Dancer, a new validator client to speed up Solana transactions, works. Jump Crypto says the new validator client has a dedicated codebase for high performance, which speeds up transaction processing and improves Solana blockchain platform efficiency. Since hearing about Fire Dancer's evolution in 2023, famous macro guru and crypto investor Raoul Pal has been excited about Solana's future. Pal claims that this new validator client transforms Solana and the Bitcoin business. After a successful testnet launch on October 31st, Solana plans a summer 2024 mainnet launch. The blue-chip cryptocurrency might rise to $2,000 before the cycle ends in 2025, according to Pal. We display Pal's recent interview snippets in this video. Please enjoy the video. Thanks and enjoy the video. Subscribe to the channel and enable post alerts for more videos like this.
Basically a validator of Solana. It's in testnet right now. It's basically another way of accessing the Solana network. It was built by Jump Trading, which is a high-frequency trading firm that's deep into crypto. And they built it to be fast enough for high-frequency trading. High-frequency trading is basically limited. So the game in high-frequency trading is to be the fastest with seeing the order flow and putting your orders in. That uses massive fiber optic cables of the shortest possible length, because what they're using is the speed of light. So they say, well, it's impossible to do that in Ethereum or Solana or anything. So you need something that operates at a quantum change, a step change in speed. So they built a new version of Solana, which will run, which you can choose as your validator. If Solana's theoretical transactions per second is 65,000, this is theoretically 1 million. So it's an entire game change. So what does that enable? Why am I interested in it? Because things like some of the two initiatives from Solana, one was compressed NFTs, allow you to create 1 million NFTs for $100. We're seeing that on layer twos as well, like base, but we're not at layer one level. Okay, Solana's a whole different game. So that makes it very cheap. So you can use NFTs for other things, not high-end art or stuff. You can use it for tickets or whatever, high-frequency stuff. Now, if you've got a chain that operates at the speed of financial markets, well, now you can tokenize exchanges. You can put exchanges on the blockchain like NASDAQ.
Supporters of Solana say that Fire Dancer could be the big break for Solana, and that the network could finally live up to its reputation as an Ethereum killer. In the past few months, the idea of Solana flipping Ethereum has become more common thanks to a new wave of activity on the blockchain that has led to more developers and a sharp rise in users thanks to Solana's meme coin. Main Austin Federa, head of strategy at the Solana Foundation, says that Solana might not be able to compete with Ethereum's much bigger market cap in the short term. However, the many user-friendly apps that are being built on Solana could make that future come much sooner than most people think. Federa told Cointelegraph recently that on Solana, anyone can write an interface in almost any computer language. This doesn't mean that Ethereum won't figure it out eventually, but right now there are a lot of projects on Ethereum that want to switch to Solana. The last time we saw that was about a year and a half ago. Federer also said he was very sure that the lions in the next year, a lot of new consumer-facing apps will be built on Solana. Let's go back to Pal's talk.
Okay, that gets really interesting. Now, this tech stack's not ready. It won't be this cycle, but we'll see people using this new speed and low latency for interesting stuff, and it'll build a narrative. Next cycle, we'll see the launch of stuff on it. So that's how I think about this. This is like, we've just unleashed two superpowers, and we will start to see people experimenting with it and the narrative building. Next cycle, we'll actually see projects coming out on it. But it is a game changer for the entire crypto space, and most people aren't aware of it yet. No, it doesn't solve that. Right now, the network's overwhelmed because of massive use, because of meme coins and other stuff. And we've seen this in ETH in the past as well, where it just gets overwhelmed with activity. So they're putting through fixes now to increase the bandwidth, essentially, the ability to deal with all of the transactions that need to happen. I think the TPS is basically the speed and number of transactions without it getting clogged, but you need compute power behind it as well. So yes, we've seen Solana transactions failing right now only because of the sheer demands of the network, much like you can overrun a broadband network or a mobile phone network. It's all the same thing. And so what you need is more compute. So you need more compute, a few fixes, make things a bit faster. So it's not broken per se, it's just being tested to its limits, which I actually think is very bullish, particularly if they put a decent patch through and before you know it, it opens up the network again. We don't really know, but I would assume that if Solana's at 200-ish today, right, for it to go up 100% would be, in crypto summer, would be highly unusual. At least 300% would be pretty standard. That would be ETH all-time highs versus the previous all-time highs of that high. So that will put it 600. So let's mark that as like, that's a reasonable spot. You know, if I use a few charts and a bit of, you know, log charts, I get somewhere between 800 and 1200. In a complete bubble cycle, I think it can go above 2000. In a short stunted cycle, 750, something like that. But it's still all to play for, is the point. If Bitcoin is the gateway drug, the RIAs, everybody else, you can kind of get your dad across the line with Bitcoin. You know, and you can just use digital gold or, you know, store of value or something that's pretty straightforward. ETH really is the settlement layer for all of the layer twos. But also, I think a lot of the financial services industry will build on top of it because it's deemed to be the safe bet. It's like using Salesforce for your CRM and other stuff. It's like using AWS, right? It's the thing you don't get fired for. Now, I think Solana will grab part of that market because of FireDancer, which is much faster. We can talk about that later. But generally speaking, ETH is the easy choice. It's like you work for a large corporation, they'll give you Microsoft Office.
Raoul Pal sees 3 possible outcomes for the current crypto bull market: a normal cycle, a left-translated cycle, and a bubble cycle. He believes there is a 60% chance of a normal cycle, which would see crypto assets like Bitcoin and Solana make big gains but nothing out of the ordinary. If this happens, Pal says Bitcoin will peak at $200,000 and Solana at $750. If this is a bubble cycle, which he believes there is a 20% chance of happening, Pal says the price increases will be much bigger, taking Bitcoin to around $1 million and Solana to around $2,000 if the third scenario happens, which has a 20% chance of happening. Asset prices will peak before the cycle's midpoint, which means the cycle will be shorter than usual. In Pal's words, it will be violent and short. Do you agree with Pal's outlook and predictions for crypto assets like Solana and Bitcoin? Please leave your thoughts and comments below. Also, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications to see more videos like this.